Hello and welcome to Precon Decon, the video series where I deconstruct the pre-constructed decks of Magic the Gathering's history. So we're moving on now, Season 5, we moved on from M15, we're going to look at the first kind of proper block of the season, which is Khans of Tarkir, which is it's a pretty fun set, I quite like it. It's another faction-based set, and I remember it generating quite a lot of buzz when it was kind of announced, because it was going to be wedge-based, the kind of enemy coloured shards. So, for example, in this one we've got white, green, black, and that's it's a those colour combinations hadn't really got much attention before, so it's kind of fun that the block was going to be based around it. Didn't really turn out that way, which is something I'll sort of talk about, I think, over the course of the next 15 videos or so. But yeah, it's just a cool block. It's the last set I played kind of when it was new. Yeah, and people like a faction set, people like kind of picking a group and saying like, yep, that's my clan, that's who I'm gonna play, that's the one I really like. And yeah, it was just a cool set, and had a bunch of dragons and cool kind of Middle East, South Asia themes to it, and kind of tropes, and it's just great. So we're going to start talking about that, and the first one we're going to look at is Abzan Siege, which is white, black, green. So let's take a look at the deck list. So we've got 23 creatures, 5 instants, 2 sorceries, 2 artifacts, 2 enchantments, and 26 lands. We've got a mana curve off to the side there. So let's start looking at the deck itself. So this deck's all about the Abzan, and their initial keyword, because they only have it for this set, for the initial Khans of Tarkir. They don't have it going forward. Oh, do they? There might be 1 or 2 cards. No, I'm pretty sure it gets replaced with Bolster. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. So let's look at Enoch Bondkin to start with. So 1 and a white for a 2/1. Whatever. And it has this ability, Outlast. So Outlast is an ability. You can pay the Outlast cost, tap the creature, and you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you can only do that anytime you could play a sorcery. So, the thing is that the whole deck really cares about +1/+1 counters, and creatures having +1/+1 counters, because as we see from Enoch Bondkin, it says all your creatures that have +1/+1 counters on them have first strike, and there's quite a few creatures like that, and that was kind of like the theme of the Abzan cards, like synergies with +1/+1 counters, or giving stuff with +1/+1 counters extra bonuses. And yeah, I think it's honestly like a fun design. It's coming straight off like the Theros heroic cards, which were mostly in green and white, so which works out really well in Abzan. So yeah, there's a lot of nice synergies there, and I do remember having a lot of fun with a green-white kind of Abzan hero deck, kind of at the time. Really fun deck to put together and get like a million +1/+1 counters on everything, and get all these bonuses and stuff. So obviously the downside of Outlast though is that if you're using it, you're either choosing between outlasting or attacking, really. There are some ways in the deck to like circumvent that, but that's typically the choice you're making. You're either attacking with the creature, or you're outlasting, making it stronger, but then it's not attacking, and normally it's not going to be around to block on your opponent's turn as well. So it's this kind of a bit of a skill testing mechanic. I think it's okay. It's maybe a little dirtly, but I do like all these creatures have a way of increasing their strength toughness with +1/+1 counters, like I say. So yeah, Enoch Bondkin gives all your stuff with +1/+1 counters first strike. So say do this turn 2, turn 3 you outlast it, and then turn 4 it's a 3/2 first strike, ready to attack. So it is a little dirtly, I'm not going to lie. Outlasting is very slow and grindy, which goes with the the wedge combination. White, green, black is typically kind of like a mid-range grindy kind of color combination, like lends itself well to that. But yeah, I like it, but again, I do appreciate it's kind of dirtly and janky. I just like it mostly because it gives all these bonuses to stuff with +1/+1 counters. So yeah, Enoch Bondkin gives everything first strike. We got a single Abzan Battle Priest, which is 3 and a white for a 3/2. Outlasts for only a single white, which is good. And each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter, it has lifelink, which is really nice. And then 2 Abzan Falconers, 2 and a white for a 2/3. Outlasts again for only a single white mana, gives all your stuff with +1/+1 counters on it flying. So even just these 3 on their own, or like a combination of these, your combination of these 3, if you had 2 of these out, it's really doing a lot, because you're either giving your whole board like evasion, or you're giving them first strike, which is a really powerful combat ability, or you're giving them lifelink, and you're kind of going to win the race. You're going to pad out your life total with a bunch of life gain effects. So yeah, it's the reason why I really like it, and I think the Abzan Falconer probably is I mean, they're all very good. Abzan Falcon I'm leaning towards just because giving your whole board, well, not your whole board, but like the majority of your creatures, flying is just, it's just a really strong ability. Yeah, these are all great. I really like them. And then we've got two Tusker Guard captains, two in a green for a 2/3, Outlast for a single green. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has trample, which is nice because as they get stronger, you're going to kind of want trample to spill over and do that excess damage, really benefit from that higher power. So yeah, again, this is great. And then two long shot squads, three in a green for a 3/3, Outlast for one in a green. Every creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has reach. Not as useful, I think, as the other ones, but like it's still good. It's still fine. Giving again, like potentially, your whole board reach is, it's better than nothing. Really. And again, like even if your stuff's not going to benefit from having reach, like your opponent doesn't have anything flying, the very fact it's got an ability where it can give itself a +1/+1 counter, it can keep ticking up and becoming bigger and stronger. It's like it's still a good option to have, I think. And then we have a single Merrick Nightblade, so 3 in a black for a 2/3, Outlast for a single black mana. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has Death Touch. So again, like you combine this with, say, like Anot of Bondkin, and all your stuff is pretty much going to win combat all the time because it's all got first strike and Death Touch. Or I know, give it all Tusker Captain and Nightblade, all your stuff's got Trample and Death Touch, and just like these 6 creatures in combination are just making your whole board like a lot more problematic for an opponent to deal with, just sharing out all these keywords and stuff. Also, Merrick Nightblade is not the card itself, it's notable, but like it's really funny in Khans of Tarkir they brought back orcs like properly, because orcs hadn't really been in Magic up until now, like really properly. Like I guess they kind of want to set their own identity by having more, like focusing more on goblins and having goblins be like, kind of the orc equivalent. But from Khans going forward, like we start to see orcs show up a lot more, like in red and black, which I think that's pretty cool. To have like that classic fantasy race come back, and we'll get it actually in as well in Kaladesh in a couple of sets when we start getting like dwarves come back in more. So yeah, I think that was worth mentioning. I think it's just kind of cool. And then we've got 2 Salt Road Patrols, 3 in a white for a 2/5. Just has Outlast as its only ability. It doesn't give or gain anything from getting +1/+1 counters. It's just there to like become a bit stronger, which is okay. It's fine. And same with Disowned Ancestor. This I think is better than the Salt Road Patrol even. 1 black mana for 0/4, Outlast for 1 in a black. So this is really nice, like early game drop. It's really nice big defender. Doesn't have defender, so it can give itself +1/+1 counters and can eventually attack, maybe. And with all your stuff that gives creature with +1/+1 counters on different keywords, might end up pulling a bit of weight. So yeah, I really like Disowned Ancestor actually. I think it's nice card to have, I think. So the foil face rare of the deck, we'll talk about actually the art in a minute. So the foil face rare of the deck is Ivory Tusk Fortress. So 2, a white, a black, and a green for a 5/7. You untap each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter during each player's untap step. So this is obviously there to take away the downside of Outlast, right? So you're still not going to be able to Outlast and then sort of do combat, or you'd have to do combat and then you can't Outlast, whatever. But what this means is you can at least Outlast on, say, like main phase 2, and then it's all going to untap during an opponent's turn, and you've got your stuff then ready to block with. So that I guess is okay. So I think this is okay. It's for 5 mana. I mean, admittedly it's in 3 colours, and it's just a 5/7 on its own as well, which I think is okay. Let's quickly talk about the art actually. So starting with Khans of Tarkir going forward, the foil face rares now have alternate art. So this art wouldn't have been in the box you would have got. You would have got the one which we showed at the start of the video. And I do like to try and present these videos like as accurate as possible. Like if you open them up, these are the images you would have seen. And I would have included the alternate foil art here to show it off, but could not just find a good kind of quality image of it for this, or for quite a lot of them going forward. Actually, there was a point I think where the image quality gets better in this, and in future videos there'll be a point, there'll be a turning point basically where I start including the alternate foil face rare art and stuff. But yeah, so this, I just want to say that in case anyone says in the comments or whatever, this is not the art you would have got in in the deck. This is the kind of like the main art. It's not the promo art. And I guess it was like kind of an interesting thing to do, right? To have the foil face rares having like different art going forward, because people always like alternate art and stuff. Although after looking through them and stuff, I did find the regular art actually on the whole better than the alternate promotional foil face rare art. But yeah, that's just me, personal opinion. But yeah, anyway, Ivory Tusk Fortress, I think it's a good card. But High Sentinels of Arashin, I think, is the real star rare of the deck, honestly. So it's 3 and a white for a 3/4 flyer, which, like, on its own, those are good stats. So it gets +1/+1 for every other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter it. You're playing a deck where all your creatures really care about getting +1/+1 counters. So this is going to shoot up. And even if you weren't finding a way of getting +1/+1 counters on your creatures, it has an ability when you pay 3 and a white to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So yeah, High Sentinels Arashin is honestly kind of a bomb. Because I went to Khans of Tarkir a pre-release, and I got absolutely stomped in one game by this because it ramped up so quickly. They had a bunch of the Outlast creatures and this, and they just did all their Outlast abilities. This shot up to being, getting an extra sort of like +4 power. And then it just flew over, and and there was like a 7-8 power creature in the air, which just could not deal with. So this I think High Sentinels Arashin is really strong. Actually, I think it's another good rare to include in these in this deck. Generally, I think the rares in Khans of Tarkir are actually pretty good. There's a bit of wonkiness, I think, at the lower rarities. I think some things are kind of generally a bit overcosted, but from what I remember, like most of the rares are actually pretty good. And then a single Armament Core, so 2 a white, a black, and a green for a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you distribute 2 +1/+1 counters amongst 1 or 2 target creatures you control. So at the very least, this can be a 6/6, and then get all the benefits of your +1/+1 counter lords, I suppose. But the more useful thing is obviously to spread the counters out and then switch on other Abzan creatures. So I think it's okay. Again, it being in 3 colors is kind of a bit of a pain. But yeah, it's okay. I think it's all right. Then we've got a bit of M15 filler, so we've got a single Sungrace Pegasus, 1 white for a 1/2 with flying and lifelink. Yep, this is fine. Good thing to put +1/+1 counters on because it's already evasive and it's already got lifelink, so yeah, that's fine. 2 Child Knight, 1 black for a 2/1 with lifelink. Yep, we've seen Child Knight a million times before, it's fine. And then a single Razorfoot Griffin, 3 and a white for a 2/2 with flying and first strike. Again, another good thing to put +1/+1 counters on because it's already evasive and it's already got first strike, so yeah, this is good. And then a single Carnivorous Moss Beast, so 4 and double green for a 4/5, which is not great stats because, you're paying that in green. You kind of want, like, at least, I think, just a 5/5. It doesn't have any other abilities either, like Trample or anything. And then you can pay 5 and double green to put a +1/+1 counter on it. So huge mana sink. I don't think, it's not a great card. It honestly is just filler in here. And obviously, it has some synergy with, what else the deck is doing, but this I feel like would be easy cut. It's just like its base stats are just like not wonderful. If it was, I'm being greedy here, but again, if it was like just a 5/5 for 6, that would kind of be okay. I don't know why it has to be 4/5, but whatever, it's fine. And late game, it is a mana sink, I suppose, but again, there's much better mana sinks, I think, in the deck. So yeah, easy first cut, I think, from the deck. So non-creature spells, we've got a single Dragon Scale Boon, so 3 in a green. You put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature and tap it. So this is kind of like the blocks version of Savage Surge. Like you get the buff and a surprise untap at instant speed. So this is obviously better, I think. I mean, obviously it's more expensive, but the +1/+1 counters obviously are a permanent buff, so that's fine, and obviously can switch on the Abzan abilities. So yeah, I think this is okay. Kind of really wish there'd been more than one, but it is what it is. We've got a single Incremental Growth. This is a really nice reprint from Lorwyn. So 3 in double green, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, 2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature, and 3 +1/+1 counters on a third target creature. So yeah, cone of counters. So yeah, this you get a lot of value out of this, I think, because you're basically distributing 6 +1/+1 counters out there for like 5 mana, which is pretty good, I think. I think, again, this is really strong. It just, potentially switches on Abzan effects, makes your creatures permanently stronger. Yeah, just really good, solid card to include in the deck, I think. Single Hunt the Weak, so 3 in a green for a sorcery. You put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then it fights a creature you don't control. So I always think this is like a little expensive, or maybe because I'm comparing it to Prey Upon, and maybe Prey Upon is actually too cheap for what it does. Prey Upon is a single green mana at sorcery for like 2 creatures to fight. So you're paying 3 extra just to get the +1/+1 counter, but I suppose if the +1/+1 counter is going to like tip the fight, you know, like your creature's either going to trade or survive, then maybe it's worth it. And also as well, you know, you got all your stuff that cares about +1/+1 counter. So you put this on something, you got the Abzan Battle Priest out. The creature that's going to fight has got like lifelink, or the Merrick Nightblade gives it Death Touch or something, and then yeah, so more expensive, but like it has at least the potential synergies and stuff, which I think is pretty fun. Single Eternal Thirst, 1 in the black, aura that goes on a creature. The enchanted creature has lifelink, and whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So yeah, again, like good, you know, to put lifelink on it. It's got a constant way of getting +1/+1 counters, which requires no mana. So yeah, again, I think this is perfectly fine. Again, has all the synergies and stuff with all your Abzan keyword lords. So yeah, I think it's good. Single Flesh to Dust, so it's 3 in double black. You destroy a creature and it can't be regenerated. A little expensive, I think. Again, I always keep comparing cards like this to Murder, which is, you know, 2 cheaper. But you know, this doesn't allow regeneration, which is becoming less and less relevant as these sets go on. We're getting to the point where regeneration is just not that much of a thing anymore, honestly. So then we've got 2 kill shots, 2 and a white to destroy target attacking creature. This, I think, has a little fun interaction, honestly, because if you've got your Outlast creatures, you might outlast everything, you've got no blockers, opponent sees that you're tapped out, swings with their attackers, and you've got kill shot there waiting to kind of ambush them as they're attacking into what they thought was a kind of a safe board. So yeah, this is actually kind of a nice little synergy, I think, with the Outlast creatures. So yeah, it's okay. We've got a single suspension field, so 1 and a white. When it ends the battlefield, you may exile target creature with toughness 3 or greater until suspension field leaves the battlefield. So yep, just like it's Oblivion Ring or Banishing Light, but just for like fatties. So this is which is normally the kind of creature you want to be using that effect on anyway. So I think this is perfectly okay. Then a single Abzan Charm. So yeah, charms are back in Khans of Tarkir, which is great. Yeah, everyone pretty much loves charms. You know, they're just really fun, aren't they? So 1 white, 1 black, 1 green. You choose one of the effects. Oh, this is also when they changed the formatting to be like this bullet point format, because up until now it was usually just like a long paragraph with semicolons separating the options out. So really like they did this to make it kind of more clear to read what the options are. So you choose one. You either exile a creature with power 3 or greater, which is, you know, for 3 mana. I think that's pretty good. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life, which is okay. Or you distribute 2 +1/+1 counters amongst 1 or 2 target creatures. So I think all these options are pretty good, which is you know, always the sign of a good charm, I think. Pretty much these are, you know, all these effects are pretty much useful all the time. You're either exiling a big creature, you're either drawing more cards, or you're putting more counters down on your creatures that care about it, and it's instant speed. Yeah, it's in, you know, it's in 3 different colors, but it's fine, whatever. Because as we'll see from the mana base, it's actually not that difficult to hit 3 colors, I think. So we've got 2 Abzan banners, so 3 colors. This is essentially just a mana rock, but it's okay. It has a little extra benefit. Pretty much all the decks have these, by the way. So 3 mana artifact, taps to give you 1 white, 1 black, or 1 green, and you can pay 1 white, 1 black, 1 green, tap, sacrifice it, draw a card. So I like this. I like this kind of thing on mana rocks and stuff. I really wish. I was going to say I really wish all mana rocks had this thing, but yeah, I think that made them too good. But like, I do like it that, you know, once you hit a point where you just don't need it anymore, you can sacrifice it for a benefit. So I do really like this. I think this is quite nice. Really wish this had been what the going all the way back to Alara, because that's just an easy set to draw comparisons to, because it was another triple color set. This is kind of what I wish the obelisks had been, you know, gives you mana of matching the shards, and when you're kind of done with it, you can sacrifice it for a benefit. I really wish this is what the obelisks have been. So I do like the banners. Yeah, they're still kind of basic mana rocks, but I think they're okay. And then we actually got a whole new cycle of tri-lands as well, which is really nice. So we've got 2 Sandstep Citadels. Comes into play tapped, but gives you 1 mana of any of the Abzan colours. So yeah, we've got a whole, again, nice easy comparison back to Alara. And they're the original tri-lands. So now we have a whole new cycle of enemy of wedge colour tri-lands. So yeah, this is really cool. Really nice to see these. So yeah, 2 of those, which is good. And then really, really good like mana base here. So this is where the gain lands showed up at first. So these kind of like basic dual lands that come in play tapped. And give you 1 mana of 1 of 2 colors, but also they gave you 1 life when you came in, and like just that makes them, I think, just like really nice budget dual land options as well. Just that 1 extra life is really nice. And we see these like all the time these days. Like these pretty much are always in sets. I really like them. So we've got a single Blossoming Sand, single Jungle Hollow, single Scoured Barrens. They all come in play tap. They all give you 1 life, and they all give you some combination of green or white or black. So yeah, these are great. Again, this is kind of the mana base that we're going to see in the next, or in all the Khans of Tarkir decks. Like they pretty much all have like 1 each of, like this set of 3 that lets them get all 3 colors. So yeah. And then we've got 8 plains, 7 swamps, and 6 forests. There we go. So let's talk about what could have been. Overall, I do think the deck is honestly fairly solid. Not much improvement. Maybe you could have used like a little bit more removal, but like it's got the kill shots. It's got the single flesh dust. It's got, actually maybe in terms of removal, it's doing okay. But some potential cards I would have liked to see here. So Feat of Resistance, I think, would have been fantastic in here. So it's 1 white instant. You put a +1/+1 on a target creature control, which is an effect the deck cares about, and it gets protection from the color of your choice on turn. So this is a really, really strong, good combat trick. A +1/+1 counter to switch on all the Abzan abilities, and also gain protection at instant speed, which I've said 100 times before. Protection at instant speed is a fantastic combat trick. Alternate rare. Let's talk about the the hardened scales in the room. This would have been a fantastic alternate rare. I do like. I mean, the Ivory Tusk Fortress is okay. The High Sentinel of Arishin, as I said, I think are excellent. I'm just imagining like the crazy alternate timeline where if you had High Sentinels of Arishin and Hardened Scales as the 2 rares in this deck, that would have been fantastic. So Hardened Scales is single green mana for an enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be placed on a creature control, that many +1/+1 counters are placed on instead. So everything, whenever you get a +1/+1 counter, you get 1 extra one, which is obviously fantastic. This would have been a fantastic rare to include, but I think would have made the deck actually too strong then. And then I thought also Swarm of Bloodflies, so 4 and a black, 0/0 flyer, comes in with 2 +1/+1 counters on it anyway. So it immediately gets the benefits, because it's already coming in with counters. And then when another creature dies, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So again, this could have been, it's already got evasion, it's already getting +1/+1 counter synergies, and it's got a way to get more without having to outlast itself. So this could have been an interesting inclusion, I think. But overall, here we go with the alternate art again on the Ivory Tusk Fortress. Overall, I think this deck it's pretty good. I think it's pretty well put together. I don't think there's many really like dead cards in here. Like we are getting to a point now where these decks are getting, usually are getting pretty good. There are still a few stinkers, as we'll see when we come to them. But yeah, I think this is a really good start to looking at the Khans of Tarkir, the set, and the block in general, honestly. If you've got any stories or thoughts or comments or opinions about this deck or any of the cards in it, like if you had this deck, and I know you had a lot of fun making a bunch of +1/+1 counters everywhere, making an army of outlasting dudes, stick a comment below. Love to read people's comments. But I'll be back next time to look at another Khans of Tarkir intro pack. But until then, thanks for watching and listening, and have a great day.